Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? So, with this game really giving us a lot to look forward to, this game, I am so sorry. This show, we learned a lot of why these new characters that we're meeting, these like ridiculously top of tops, are as broken as they are, and it makes a lot of sense actually because as we see it, they are literally masters of their breathing techniques. And by just having that goes to show you that there's so many different levels to being being one of them that they haven't even scratched the surface, right? They haven't even really found any type of understanding of what or how to get, any of that. And that's kind of what blows my mind is because whenever we get to see like, whatever pops off or transpires, we'll probably know what like the best move was, right? Like we'll probably know what everybody's mind was set towards, and to see that there's people out here that have hopes and dreams and have wishes, um, not all of them can be met simply because of who they're dealing with and who they're a part of. So wanting to be friends with the demons and wanting to have them actually be capable of not just destroying humans and vice versa, happening to destroy them, you get this feeling of, oh, well, if they can actually, stop being so evil, we could have powerful allies and vice versa. But why else does she want to have these demons capable of being their friend is because of her sister. Her sister literally just, wanted her, she wanted to have this relationship with the demons, and because that was not seemingly possible, now it's, one thing that she strives for her sister that passed away. And I thought it was really a touching moment to hear that, but at the same time, it kind of puts into perspective like how much of these people don't, like a lot of people don't really even have their own motives and goals, and then once they find out that they don't have these motives, that their motives and their goals aren't even their own, you kind of look at them like, then what could their motives and goals become, right? Knowing that she wants to now pass on this dream to our main character and see if he can make friends with demons and become something that they never believed was possible, that's the type of thing that makes you wonder, what comes from it, right? Like what all shows up and has these people happy enough to not kill humans. How can they find a way to make these demons be able to be feeling full and all this stuff without the guaranteed of needing to eat, so I like that aspect of them trying to just bring along more storytelling, because think about it, this show is about demon slaying. So what is more controversial than not slaying a demon, becoming a friend with the demon, right? So that's kind of my forte on the whole thing when it comes down to just seeing everything that they kind of dropped on us this week, right? Like everything we saw this week leads us to believe that we could see that in the future, right? That we could see that at some time. And if that is the case, what will be, what will be the true reason why this even works out, and why, if anything, does it, why, if anything, does it even work in the first place? Because as of right now, this show has shown that there's, like I was saying, like her sister wanted her wish to come true, and her wish being that that she can practically, freaking be friends with the demons. And by the sister being naive and not being able to do so, led to her ultimate, demise in the case of her dying. Her older sister died because she was trying to be friendly, because she was trying to, be that person on her side, and because of it, it didn't work out so well, right? So now that she has that experience and that information that this happens, we're still stuck, with her wanting to fulfill her sister's dreams. So if Tanjiro becomes, he's already become friends with two demons pretty much, right? So it's already happened, and she can sense that in his soul. But other than that, that one moment, this episode was pretty straightforward. It was like a training ritual of people just going absolutely ham and trying to, figure out why, why they are getting trained so hard, and if they are getting trained so hard, how can they win, this and that. And we come to find out that they can't win. They just can't freaking win. Literally, by looking at all of the things we have seen in this show when it comes down to people pushing themselves to their limits and breaking their limits, they were not even capable of doing that because these girls were too broken. Like, I shouldn't say these girls, plural, because I bet you if we actually did get the leader, the girl who is the one who owns this like site where she has all these ladies training and healing people, if we did actually get that and have her be the one that was helping during the training and like rejuvenation, they would have got absolutely bodied. They would have got dumb bodied, right? Yeah, that would have been pretty hilarious. But as of now, we can pretty safely say that there's no way, if they couldn't beat the one girl, there's no way they could have beat the other one, right? So I do think that's pretty great and all that they, put that out there. But at the same time, it just puts into perspective how much of levels there are. Like, being able to blow into a gourd and make it explode absolutely blew the mind of our main guy. He was absolutely just thrown back. He's like, well, he's like, yeah, I won't be able to do that ever. Like, that's impossible pretty much. So I love that aspect of this show and just what actually, comes from their connection, their overall like talks with each other. I just love that aspect of the show. So to see it like fully in display and being flexed off, and our main guy actually, or not our main guy, but my main guy, my favorite guy who loves him some women, absolutely going in and showing just how much of a like difference he has in certain aspects of his powers, and the other aspect that he kind of never wants to take anything too serious, right? He's just not that good at being the person you would go to be like, oh yeah, I want that guy to be, the reason why I train and this and that. Like, he's not a good motivationer, but once he finds something that motivates him, by lord, he is going full in. So I like that aspect a lot about his character, but at the same time, it's very, very goofy. So it's another, kind of like saving grace of the show, if you will, to have this overall story narrative where we're looking at a character who we can see being some certain type of person, but then once he gets something worth fighting for, once he gets something that he's going to want to show off or even just be very, very good at, we know that he'll pull it out and that he is much more capable than he ever, lets on. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening. I can't wait to see what they actually drop with this show, because as of right now, it's been pretty much the same now. We got a long... Like, the one thing I was complaining about in the show is that they recover quite quickly, right? Like, there's not a lot of times where these guys are staying down for long, and that was weird to me. Like, they would literally just do what they gotta do and then be up in a hurry, right? So that was kind of annoying, but overall, now that they're giving them all this time, look how long it's taking them to recover, and they can't just hop back up. Hold on. Excuse me, I sneezed. I apologize. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, there's no real indicator that's telling us, hey, you are literally going to do this, 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 and that. And by being able to do all that stuff while injured was just ridiculous. Like, every time he beat something, he was getting hit up by the bird to go and fight something else, right? And he was not recovering and taking almost the same amount of damage, if not more damage, than he was every time he's fought, right? So with that, it's kind of like, how is he doing it? How is he continuously just getting up and fighting? But with this week's episode, they show you that the more recovery he gets, you know, the more training he gets as well. Like, he's never just recovering and not kind of learning something, which is another kind of saving grace for me when it comes down to this show. Like, they always have him gaining something out of, like, usually almost nothing, you know? Like, now him just training hard and showing up where these girls were that were stretching him out, and then you got the other girl that played the T game with you. All of them were, you know, like, just surprised that anybody would even want to come back after, you know, all those beatings and stuff like that. And then to see that someone did come back, but, you know, others weren't, it was probably shocking to them, right? Like, oh man, this guy is really going for it. So they started liking to be around him, right? So because of that, you then have all of these different, you know, weird effects of him just showing up, that they really want to, you know, help him out. They're trying to see the best of the best that they can for him. And we can really appreciate that, because they're just, you know, being honest. They're just literally trying to see what Tanjiro would become if they really do see him work as hard as they've probably seen these others work here. So knowing that, we saw a lot of what the breathing, the ultimate concentration could do. Like, straight up, what's his face couldn't even Tanjiro didn't even see or like, you know, be able to really react to the butterfly girl dipping as fast as she did. And you notice she does it when his total concentration is out. Like she says, she's like, oh, you're not in total concentration. And he's like, well, you're right. And then dip. Like, that was all they wrote, you know? Like, that was sick to me, because it goes to show you that even when he is in that, he probably can't tell anymore, right? Like, he probably can't actually get a good reading on how fast she's moving or anything like that without having that much concentration and backing to help him see it all happening. So I did like that aspect a lot. Give me your vehicle, punk. And because it was really good and well done, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they translate all this later on, because not only have we seen now that the total concentration is something that they're, like, perfecting and really good at, but they're also going to show us what our main character would be like if he has something like that hurts his body so much, but if he masters it, he's going to be absolutely disgusting. So With all that being said, have an awesome one, and I definitely want to hear your opinion on what you think about all this. Let me know in the comments below, and I will definitely read them and let you know what I feel. So with that, peace.